Chicago attorney Adam Beckerink is now formally charged with murdering his wife, Cailtyn Tracey, and he's back in the Windy City to answer to those charges. I go through the case and what Caitlyn's family is saying about it more than a year after her shocking and tragic death. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Adam Beckerink is now charged with murder in the death of his wife, Cailtyn Tracey. This case, it's sad, it's shocking, and absolutely horrific. Caitlyn was a beautiful 36-year-old woman, and her family and police say she was the victim of domestic violence at the hands of her husband. Caitlyn's body was found at the bottom of a stairwell in October of 2024 at Beckerink's swanky condo building in Chicago's South Loop. The abuse has been well documented in court filings, where Caitlyn's family went to court and asked a judge to release her remains to them following Caitlyn's murder in October of 2024. Adam Beckerink, as Caitlyn's husband, was her next of kin, and he wanted her body cremated following her death. But Caitlyn's parents said Beckerink was abusive and had beaten Caitlyn and was the prime suspect in her murder. And the kicker, they said he wanted her body cremated because he was the suspect. The Traceys wanted a traditional Catholic funeral for their daughter with a burial. The judge sided with Caitlyn's parents. It took a year of investigation, but right as Caitlyn's parents were marking the 1-year anniversary of her death, Chicago police announced they would pursue a murder charge against Adam Beckerink for Caitlyn's murder. Now, this happened as he was being sentenced for a domestic violence incident against Caitlyn at her home in New Buffalo, Michigan, back in 2024, earlier in the year. Part of that was captured on body-worn camera videos. Take a look.
Wait! Before you wait! Seriously! God, I can't! Listen to me! Sit up. Please! You can't search me! You cannot search me! That's illegal! That's a fucking illegal search! That's an illegal search! You know what it is? That's an illegal search! Get off me! Get off me! That's an illegal search! Get off me! You know that's illegal! Let go of my hands! Adam, you're under arrest. For what? You are let go! Let go of your Let go of your pocket! Let me talk to you! Let go of your pocket! Please let me talk to you! Let go of your pocket! Please! Let go of your pocket! Please let me talk to you! Let go of your pocket! Don't do it! Let go! Please, I'm giving my phone to you! No! What's my... Look on! This trigger's gonna hurt! Please! Just please listen to me! Please listen to me! Please listen to me! Please listen to me! We're going on a honeymoon! Guys, please! It's my phone! Like, I'll get it for you! God damn it! What the is happening here? It's my fucking phone in my wallet. Yeah, I'm getting I need to go to my honeymoon. Can you just go talk to her, please? This is stupid. God. Oh, no, I'll rip your That's all that's my Please. What are you doing? You got everything, all right? Jesus Christ. Can I talk to you, please, before you shut this? Please, can I just talk to you? Can I just the car? Right. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to someone here? All right. Can I talk to someone? They're figuring Go ask her. They said they have 2 phony words. Okay. I don't. I'm an attorney. Okay. So you go. Well, we'll be able to confirm that. We'll figure it out. Yes, but this time hurts. All right. Well, you need to cooperate, and there'll be a lot of things like adjust your cuffs. Hey, can you please just talk to me? No one's gonna talk to me. No one's gonna fucking talk to me. My pants yet. My pants can go. Too bad, sit in.
Last fall, Adam Beckerink was sentenced to 93 days in jail for that domestic violence incident involving Caitlyn, where he interfered with her calling 911. And I'm going to show you more of that body-worn camera footage in just a bit. Beckerink just finished up that stint in jail in Berrien County, Michigan. Now he's back in Chicago to answer to the murder charge in Caitlyn's death. A warrant for Beckerink's arrest states During the course of the death investigation conducted by Area 3 Homicide, along with the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, the investigation revealed the offender to be the individual who threw his wife down 29 stories, a stairwell, causing her death. This incident occurred on the 24th floor on today's date. The offender was extradited by A/Os from Berrien County Jail in St. Joseph, Michigan, and transported to Area 3 for processing. A police report from October of 2024, right after Caitlyn's murder, offers some details about why Chicago police detectives believe Adam Beckerink murdered Caitlyn. The report states, during a death investigation of Cailtyn Tracey, who was discovered in the stairwell of the condo, A/D learned that Tracey fell from above the 20th story flight of stairs, causing fatal injuries. A/D learned Tracey was reported missing by her husband, Beckerink. A/D spoke with Adam Beckerink about his wife, Cailtyn Tracey, who he filed the missing persons report under JH484198 on the 27th of October, 2024. Beckerink related that Tracey went missing on the 25th of October, 2024. Beckerink related that he was out of town the week he learned that Tracey went missing. A/D discovered during the investigation video evidence from the 24th of October, 2024, uncovered that Beckerink was in the residence the day before Tracey was reported missing. A/D learned that Beckerink was with his wife on video in the residences when he told reporting officers he was out of town when Tracey went missing. Beckerink allowed A/D to view his and Tracey's phone, which appeared to have deleted messages that he stated was the way they were communicating before they went missing. Beckerink could not provide an explanation why messages were deleted from both phones. A/D learned during the investigation that Beckerink and Tracey had a history of domestic violence incidents. Prior to Tracey going missing, she appeared to have injuries on the face that was captured on video. A/D placed Beckerink in custody for filing a false missing report of his wife, Tracey. When Beckerink was placed in custody, he stated, "Is she alive? And is she okay?" Now Beckerink, as I mentioned, is back in Chicago. He's being housed in the Cook County Jail, and he's facing that murder charge in Caitlyn's death. The Cook County State's Attorney asked that Beckerink be held in jail until his trial. So I'd like to bring in Will Svilar. He's a retired homicide detective with the Chicago Police Department. Will, Adam Beckerink, he is back in Chicago after serving that time, that 93-day jail sentence in Michigan for the incidents involving his now deceased wife that he's charged with murdering in Chicago. So what do you expect to happen now that he's back in Chicago?
Well, now the legal aspect starts. Now the trial starts. He'll have his detention hearing where the attorneys will argue whether or not he should be released. Judge will make his decision. From then, they'll set an arraignment date. When he's arraigned, he'll be formally charged with the murders. And then you go on to pretrial discovery, motions, and all the stuff that leads up to a trial. Eventually, you're going to get to the trial, which could be as many as 2 years before that happens.
Wow. Adam Beckerink has some high-powered attorneys. He's somebody of some means because he was a lawyer. We don't have we don't have any information about his bank account, but he had a high-powered attorney. So do you expect, obviously, a vigorous defense here?
Yes, I believe he'll get the best defense money can buy, or his money can buy anyway. And then they will try to do anything they can to raise just a little skosh of reasonable doubt, which would get him acquitted.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to let him out, pending trial. He's going to be held pending trial. He's somebody who, we have body camera footage of him fighting police. They said he resisted. He said, "I'm not resisting. Let me go. Let me get out of here." But they're saying, "Quit fighting us." I mean, when the cops say, "We're putting the cuffs on you, get in the car," you're not supposed to start wiggling around and telling them how it's going to be done.
Well, you just said it. I mean, he has means. So when you make an argument as a prosecutor to detain somebody, you're going to make an argument that he's a flight risk and he's a danger to the community. Those are your two big arguments. And the fact that he has means, he's got houses, and he had a New Buffalo, and he has the ways to get out of the country, or at least out of the state, or to flee, that's going to go to it. So he has means. We know he's a danger to the community. Like you said, he fights with the police and, he allegedly kills his wife and certainly beats her. He's convicted of that. So I doubt they're going to give him a bond. I would really be surprised.
Mm-hmm. The probable cause statement is not very detailed. I mean, they just have to, it's a very low bar that they just have to show the judge, we believe this person committed this crime. All it says is the investigation revealed that Adam Beckerink is the person believed to have thrown Cailtyn Tracey down 29 stories in this condo in October of 2024. I mean, it's a really horrific thing that he's accused of doing. What do you think that investigation revealed? I mean, it took a while for them to investigate this.
Well, I think there are what we call Detective Division supplemental reports into that investigation, and it starts with a scene report that tells you everything you saw, and then every step of your investigation is documented on these detective subs, and that's where you lay out the entire case. The arrest report is just going to, like you said, the threshold's low for probable cause on an arrest report. It's just, I need to put something in the narrative of this arrest report to support the charges that I'm putting in the top part of the arrest report. So it's very basic. The whole story is told through detective subs. And moving forward, before he ends up going to trial on this, there's going to be two ways that he gets sent to trial. One is going to be by information in a probable cause hearing, which you don't see very often in murders. And the second way is information presented to a grand jury where they'll ask for a true bill and an indictment. And I think that's the way it's going to go. In that, you're going to get more information, either through probable cause or through the grand jury. More information on the case will be laid out.
Right now, we're in the very beginning, really, of the actual court process here. We have a long way to go. You think it could take 2 years to get to trial. You don't think he's going to ask for a speedy trial here.
Well, I mean, when I talk about 2 years, it's about the average, time that we see homicides going to trial. Now he can speed it up, but that's up to his attorneys. And anytime the trial it's set for the next date, you go before the judge. It's either by agreement that they want to get a continuance, or one makes a request for continuance, and then the judge will decide whether or not it's granted. So a lot of that happens, and he's going to be doing county time until that gets set for trial, until he goes to trial.
Mm-hmm. So this is a guy, though, that has a history of violence against Cailtyn Tracey. I mean, it's well documented. So I don't even know what the defense could be here, other than, I don't know if he's going to try to say that she, did this to herself, which would seem very unlikely, but there is a history here.
Sure. And the prosecution's job is to prove it. Defense does not have to prove innocence. The prosecution has to prove guilt. So depending on what their defense is, it's going to be, I would imagine it's going to be along the lines of, listen, I didn't push her. We had a fight, but she fell, or she jumped, if you even present that type of defense. But I think their defense is all going to be determined on how the prosecution lays out their case. So there's murders that I've been to where the defense doesn't even make a defense. They don't even have an argument. They just go and they say, listen, the prosecution didn't prove their case. We're making a motion for directed finding.
This is a guy, though, that you can see his attitude in the body-worn camera. He's asserting his innocence, too. When he was sentenced in the Berrien County case in Michigan, he literally said to the court, I mean, he said he loved his wife, he would not hurt her. But there's a history. I mean, he had harmed her. It's well documented in court filings. She tried to get a restraining order against him. I don't know where you go with that.
Yeah, I don't know what your defense can be on that, other than the fact that, I wasn't there. I didn't do it. But I think, when the case gets played out and when the reports become part of evidence and part of discovery, you're going to find that they proved he was there. And again, I don't know what your defense could possibly be unless you try to plead it down to a second degree, sudden and intense passion where I was so angry I didn't know what I was doing type thing. But I don't see, again, you don't know what the jury's going to do. Sympathetic jury, who knows? But I don't see what the defense could be.
He was detained too at the very beginning of this for a period of time. I believe he was questioned, so he very well could have made a statement as well. He may have given a statement to investigators in the beginning.
If he did, it wasn't about guilt because they released him after 48 hours, which is how long we can hold somebody before charging. And the thing is, that case was just in the beginning then. They probably had a very good idea then that this is the guy who did it, but you have to process the evidence from inside the scene. And if you don't have any of that evidence, you cannot hold somebody past the 48 hours. So I think they knew they had their man in the beginning, but if you don't have the evidence, you can't hold them.
Mm-hmm. How important do you think that digital and electronic evidence will end up being in this case?
More and more on all the cases towards the end of my career that I was working, the electronic evidence is key and it's crucial. And it's how it's presented, how it's collected and how it's presented. Back in the beginning, when we were starting to pick up, Ring cameras and surveillance videos, we weren't really sure how to do it, but we got trained up on it and we had techs trained up on it. And now it's very valuable evidence and it's crucial to prosecutions.
It really can be, and it really is at times. I will be interested to see how this case unfolds. Will Svilar, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The judge presiding over Adam Beckerink's case denied a request from the media to have cameras in the courtroom for the proceedings on Friday, and Beckerink's request for bail was denied after a lengthy hearing in Cook County. During that hearing, prosecutors revealed that Beckerink's DNA was found on the door to the stairwell at his condo building, but Caitlyn's was not. Beckerink's attorney suggested that Caitlyn may have actually harmed herself in that stairwell, so her DNA not being on that doorknob might be significant. Now let's get back to that body-worn camera footage from 2024 from the incident in Michigan.
Can I get out of here? God, come on. Took this too far again. Two felony words, my ass. All right, this is ridiculous now. Come on. Hey, excuse me. Hello? Hello? Can you just open the door? It's hot. No? I didn't. Get these things off me. Please. Please get these things off me. You have no reason to take me to jail. Jesus Christ. Hey, can I get a second? That's... the longer it takes for them to say something to her, the more it is not legal. Right? Can you guys just get these... Hey. Just let me go home then. Jesus Christ. That's fine. Computer's turned off. You people.
Save that for us, please.
Beckerink is incredibly unhappy that he's in handcuffs and he wants to talk to Caitlyn.
You're being detained right now. The handcuffs aren't coming off.
And she's not saying anything. I already heard it on the radio. She's not saying so you already lost your witness.
I don't
And
know.
you entered my house without authority.
I didn't do any of that.
Well, someone did.
You can deal with it at some point.
Yeah, so I'll get all the badges, numbers, and everything. Yeah. What are they coercing her up there? What are they doing? I mean, how many questions do you have to have? Did it hurt you? I already heard on the radio she's not saying anything. So, how many times are they going to ask her? 18 until she actually says something, or what are they giving her something?
So
Spiel.
Oh
Yeah.
It's not a spiel. You know what
That's exactly what it is.
No,
A
it's
spiel.
not a spiel, but we got to make sure she's okay.
She said she was. I heard it on the radio.
The officers talk about a prior call to Cailtyn Tracey's house where they found her injured.
What were we dispatched to? It was not even a domestic. I showed up and she was bleeding all over her face, and he had hit her good, and then he stole like 20 grand. She's got a lot of money. Stole 20, 30 grand worth of her stuff. Took off in this Range Rover right here. Drove through somebody's yard. We couldn't find a vehicle. The courts issued the warrants. We kept them because we knew we were going to have more problems here. I showed up to the front door, which was cracked, and I heard her yell. I heard screaming, very faint screaming, and then I announced police, and I heard her yelling. So I made my way in and had him at taser point. He wasn't listening, but yeah, we're definitely gonna need a welcome party for that guy.
So right now, Adam Beckerink remains in the Cook County Jail in Chicago. When he was sentenced for the Michigan incident, he said that Caitlyn wanted the abuse charges in Michigan dropped and that they had a great life. So right now, he remains in the Cook County Jail. He will not be getting bail. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.